Yo, what's up, man? I'm Spinny Vinny, New York City freestyler, educator, father of four, thinker, artist, philosopher of movement, and I'm really happy to be sharing a little bit of what I think freestyle is and what freestyle means to me in my life. Well, I guess if we go back to the early days of freestyle, I think I was more of a soccer player. You know, I had played soccer since I was 4, and I got into freestyle when I was like 35, 36. So my early initiation into freestyle was not competitive sport. Some kids grow up watching competitions and battles, and that's really what motivates them. But for me, it was more like, okay, 31 years of competing, tournaments, street soccer tournaments, college soccer, youth soccer. And then finally I saw something where music, style, swag, the way you dress, the way you move was as important as anything else. What really caught me was the uniqueness of each person's style, like the emphasis that like everybody has their own tricks, their own style. And I guess it was like more vibes and less sport. So it was less about, oh, I beat you, or, you know, I'm competing against you and I'm better than you. And it was more about just having fun together, kicking it with friends, community vibes. My position on competitive freestyle has evolved over time. So it's in the early years, I don't think I was really into it too much. I thought it reminded me too much of competitive soccer. You know, kind of not cutthroat, but you know, the emphasis being on who's more technical or more skillful, who's better. When I started training tricks and realizing how difficult it was to create your own style of freestyle and to create your own flow, I started then to appreciate what people were bringing to the stage in a competition kind of format. I realized that in competitions, it wasn't only your hard tricks, but people were trying to showcase years of practice and thinking about freestyle. So once I competed for the first time, you know, Frankie was encouraging me to compete. I also came to a greater appreciation of just how hard it is to perform live and how important it is to be able to improvise on the spot. I started to really appreciate the beauty of spontaneous improvisation with a soccer ball, and I started to appreciate, you know, the people who could on the fly, live, in front of an audience, in front of their peers, be able to surprise us and take a trick a different direction or react to, you know, a bad touch or a missed touch and try to make something out of it. I think my first moves were blocks, slaps, blocks, maybe pancakes, toe bounces, things like that.
He used to do a lot of crossovers.
Did I?
Crossovers.
Really? I don't remember. This guy.
Crossover vibes.
This guy remembers more than I do.
Crossover.
What was my first move? Do you know my first move?
This was the move. Crossover.
What was the first move I did?
That was one of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about toe bounce?
Toe bounce came after.
Yeah?
That came when you
What about slap?
When you started vibing with us in the circles.
What about slap?
That came later too.
Crossover?
Crossover. Juggling. Crossover.
There you go. I don't even remember, man. And I'm sitting in front of the crossover master, Sensei Crossover, Kazani.
Who are some of the inspirations in freestyle?
In the United States, I feel like Frankie Flo, of course, my mentor. He was the one who kind of initiated me in the art of freestyle. You have someone like Alex Mendoza, who I've really learned to respect a lot because he's departed from the competitive freestyle mode and he started to get more into the vibes, the music, the jams. And so he's really taken his freestyle and brought a more spiritual dimension. Other USA freestylers, I like Jesus, because he's from the Bronx and he's keeping it real. Pioneers, Eli Freeze was doing it way back when. He still keeps it real. Mikrik is one of the most soulful freestylers out there. This guy will jam anytime, anywhere. He's really about it. And he's also at a crazy level, you know, being like a world champ. Andrew Henderson, the same thing. The top guys, it's always like this. It's not just a job or a sport or a title to win. They're all in. You have to be all in if you're really gonna be at that level. I met up with Pale a few years ago. He came and kicked a session with us for like 45 minutes in the Lower East Side. He came to my hood, to my spot, and that meant a lot to me. He's a legend, of course. On the Japanese scene, we have this guy over here, Kazani. For me right now, and I don't know all the Japanese freestylers so intimately, it's difficult to break into their circles. If there's anyone who's about the vibes, it's this guy. You know, he's even created a series of freestyle events called Vibes Kings. I mean, if you're inventing your own event called Vibes, you know you're really about it. This guy.
The real freestyler.
See, there it is. He's about it. This guy's about it. Being a father, well, I don't know. To me, it doesn't really change so much. One of my main purposes in freestyle is to set an example to the younger generation that being a parent or going to school or taking on a job or taking on more responsibility doesn't mean you stop doing your thing. You need to always take care of your passion, cultivate your art, your passion. So that's one of my messages is if you have young kids or you have work in environments where people know nothing about freestyle, your job is to share the gospel, you know, is to get the message out. So pizza's here. Thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Pizza. If you want going in order.